Hi, Nancy. It's great to see you. Obviously, I believe you're a new face at
I
Stats
am.
Perform, so welcome to the official, I guess, another side of the industry. So maybe a little bit of background on where you're from, but how are you holding up? And obviously, it must be an interesting time to start with a company.
Yes. So I came from 20 years being an IBMer and made the leap, and then the coronavirus hit. I think week 3. So it was an interesting time to jump into the world of sports. That's for sure.
Sure, sure. So as far as so let's go. What was the connection from IBM? I'm guessing maybe I know Stats and Perform a lot of AI stuff and data. So I'm guessing you might have had some skill sets that translated from one to
hmm
the other.
Absolutely. So I come from the data and AI business at IBM, and I worked on with a lot of our products like Watson that everybody knows. So I always talk about Watson, our predictive analytics, all of our core data products for the last 20 years. And one of the things that fascinated me, I am a big sports fan. And I'm a huge data analytics fan and an AI fan, obviously. And to have all of those be my day job, sports and data and analytics and AI was kind of like the dream, right? So it was that plus the fact that what we're doing at Seth Perform is really putting AI to use at a level that I didn't get to do as a maker at IBM. And that was fascinating to me. So I took the leap and here I am. And it's, I get to talk about sports every day and analytics. Like I'm living the dream.
Sure, sure. So let's talk about the sport tech products. Obviously, it's always good when you have a fresh perspective on the tools. So when you look at that lineup, what do you kind of see as some of the strengths of it? What impressed
Sure.
you? Because obviously, it had to be impressive enough to make you want to leave IBM. So
Well, and I will always love IBM, but it's so what was interesting is one of the challenges that we always faced in the projects we had at IBM. It was that always the challenge of data, right? So everybody wants to be able to leverage AI and machine learning, but they don't have the data. And so when I look at the 3 key areas for us at Stats Perform, one is the depth and breadth of the world-class data we have that actually goes all the way back to the 1800s for some sports.
wow.
So we have the data. We can do some amazing storytelling based on that data, which we do with our editorial business. And then we've built up this, what I refer to as our AI Innovation Center, where we can now leverage that data to build products with AI and machine learning that we can then infuse into our applications, like for team performance and betting, in all of the areas that we focus on. So we have all of the key ingredients, and that is so unique. And then you combine that with the depth of sports expertise. Like you can walk around the halls of Stats Perform and run into people that you just like, wow, they're historians, like they know this business. And so, like I said, the combination of the data, the AI capabilities, and the innovation center we've built, the depth of knowledge and resource there from a data science perspective, and then the applications that make all of those things consumable is what I think makes us extremely unique.
Right, right. So obviously, I think coming out of what we're dealing with right now, there will be more demands on the sports production people and the leagues and the federations and the teams to really
Right.
sort of use technologies like this AI to help streamline production processes and what have you. So can you talk a little bit about the Opta Graphics tool and kind of how that might help as far as them maximizing the value of assets they have, getting the most out of
Absolutely.
the new assets?
Yeah, I think one of the most consistent things we hear from the media and broadcast is like how much time it takes them to put together things, and that we have all this great data, but we had to make it more consumable for them to piece together the data, the graphics, the visuals, the videos, and make it very simple. And that's really what Opta Graphics was trying to do, is make it extremely simple. In fact, I think we have one demo where you could do it in less than 50 seconds and piece together a very compelling graphic. And I think that whole consumability focus is where we're taking a lot of the products in media and broadcast, as well as on the team performance side too, is that AI machine learning analytics is only going to be valuable if it's actually consumable to the person using it, right? And
Right.
therein lies the challenge.
Sure, sure. Are there any ways that you think that, given what's going on with the lack of sports, real sports, I mean, are there ways that AI can be used to kind of increased discoverability? Because obviously now fans can say, you know what, I wish I could find all my favorite moments of my favorite player, and they can't quite do that yet, at least on the public level. Do you see that? Is this situation now opening up potentially new ways or new opportunities for using AI to satiate fans with a lack of
Yeah,
live
I
voice?
think there's a couple ways. So one of the things that we've recently introduced, which is AutoStats, and this is using some advanced AI and computer vision capability to go back and pull data from broadcast video. So we can go back to classic games like, so I'm a Chicago fan, so like the 92 Bulls, Chicago Bulls, which there's a lot of talk about that right now with the Last Dance, if you haven't seen that.
Yep, it's very good.
And pull out some key performance and tracking depth of data around those players that was never available to us before. Because right now, to get that depth of data, you needed to have the cameras in the stadium. But with what we're doing with computer vision, we don't need to do that. We can do it from broadcast video. And so we're able to go back and open up opportunities with data that was never available before. And that is really compelling. I think we've recently kicked off this content factory where we're leveraging all the expertise across the company to crank out all these data-driven articles. And the response has been amazing. So people are starved for that kind of information. They love the classic games. There was a great story about the year that the Knicks and 50 years ago in New York, where all of the teams were at the top of the playoffs and everything. So fans are absolutely starved for that kind of information, and I think that when sports comes back, it's going to feel like a tsunami to media and broadcast, because potentially it could all come back at once.
Sure. So I noticed that Michael Jordan took a lot of 4 to 5 foot jumpers. Do you think that if he had the AI and all this data, that the Bulls would have won more championships, or do you think he would have?
Exactly. Or what player looks most like Michael Jordan today from a playing styles perspective? And that's
Right.
that's some of the cool stuff that we can do, because we can actually go back and we have models that actually can identify very specific playing styles across thousands and thousands of players in soccer. And what you can then do is you can look at those playing styles in conjunction with other players through a clustering model that would compares players against thousands and thousands of players. So we're optimizing all of that time, which would have been honestly impossible for a human to conceptualize, right?
Exactly.
Unless they're looking at video 24 hours a day for a couple of years, they would never see what the machines could tell them.
Right. Great. Well, thanks, Nancy, so much for your time. Really appreciate it.
Sure.
Take care of yourself. Be well.
Thank you. Great to talk to you.